Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie, and this is where we discuss true crime, current affairs, and politics. And you're joining me for further coverage in the case of Kouri Richins. If you're new to the case, I do have a whole playlist of what's going on, but a brief summary. Eric Richins died on the 4th of March 2022. His wife Kouri was arrested on the 8th of May 2023 and charged with his murder. It's alleged that she poisoned him with a fentanyl OD. Before her arrest, and not long after her husband died, Kouri wrote a book about how to cope with grief, and that book was for children. Kouri has since been in jail and was denied bail based on the seriousness of her charges. There are children involved. They are currently living with Eric's family, who have remained fairly silent on this topic. Kouri's family have been speaking out. Again, I have done videos about this. That's a very brief summary of what's been going on. There's also been civil cases going on over on the side. It's just a whole mess. But today, it is going to be this one. What is in the envelope Kouri Richins gave her defence attorney? Now, if you don't know the envelope, apparently inside it there was a novel that Kouri was writing from jail about her current circumstances, and it also was very similar to what she's being charged with. But this is from, let's get it up, parkrecord.com, which is based in Utah, I believe, and this is written by Toria Barnhart. And what is in the envelope Kouri Richins gave her defence attorney? Sky Lazaro, her defence attorney, says it's attorney-client privileged information, but Summit County prosecutors think it could have evidence in it. This is an older image. This is from back in September when she was in court for something. We don't have a court date yet for the next court appearance. A manila envelope containing at least 60 pages kept by Kouri in the Summit County Jail may have been dubbed dubious by prosecutors, but they don't exactly know what's inside. The Summit County Attorney's Office on Friday said it believes that there could be evidence and a letter from another jail inmate behind the clasp, and asked 3rd District Court Judge Richard Mrazek to compel the defence to hand the documents over. But Sky Lazaro, the attorney representing the Kamas mother of 3, who is accused of fatally poisoning her husband Eric with a fentanyl-laced cocktail back in March 2022, asserts that the envelope holds privileged information provided by her client. Prosecutors argued the material could be relevant and important to the ongoing murder case in the wake of the conspicuous walk the dog letter, which they said was a request from Kouri to her mother to ask her brother to provide false testimony. They accused Kouri of witness tampering and filed a no-contact order on September the 15th, seeking to prevent her from speaking to her relatives. The walk the dog letter, again, I've done a whole video on it. Kouri says it's a novel. The prosecution says it's witness tampering. But if it is a novel, why would that be attorney-client privilege? Because it's all fiction. Judge Mrazek denied the no-contact order motion during a court hearing last week. He said there was not enough evidence to restrict her right to free speech and that the letter could be interpreted several ways. According to Kouri, the writing was an excerpt from a fictional mystery book she's authoring about illegal medicines and a Mexican prison. I like to say illegal medicines because the D word, that one, can get you in trouble on YouTube. If the envelope does have part of a short story, that doesn't necessarily mean the writing falls under attorney-client privilege. However, it also doesn't guarantee the pages would be turned over to the state. Lazaro, her defence attorney, argued the Summit County Jail had already examined the packet multiple times. She was hesitant to provide the documents to prosecutors. However, she agreed to a third-party review after the judge recognised the potentially sensitive nature of the contents. Both sides agreed to an independent attorney chosen by the state would analyse the pages to determine what's relevant to the case and what is attorney-client privileged. Then there would be a sealed meeting to decide what prosecutors are allowed to see. The state will be unaware of the contents until that process is complete. So one individual is going to go through this novel and figure out what's relevant to the case, what's not, and if it is relevant, then it will be provided to the court. Judge Mrazek asked prosecutors and the defence to determine how they want to move forward by December. Then there will be a hearing to determine the order of the case and to establish a timeline. A date has not been set yet. And the judge was kind of sick of it. Both sides had filed motions, and how I interpreted it, what the judge said was, you're misbehaving, you all need to stop and just get on with your jobs, and I want it sorted by December. That's what I heard from the judge. The judge also denied a motion from the defence to dismiss the case on Friday. We'll get to that. Lazaro accused prosecutors of unprofessional conduct for their handling of the Walk the Dog letter, which she argued was an attempt to make the world question the integrity and credibility of Kouri, her counsel, and her witnesses. She questioned whether Kouri would have a fair trial. However, Judge Mrazek repeatedly recognised the high-stakes nature of the case, as well as the intense media attention it received, even before the Walk the Dog letter was released. He affirmed the court's proceedings would be protected and said there would be a more involved jury selection process to ensure the pool is not prejudiced. So let's rewind. Okay, so the defence wanted to get the case dismissed and to be sent elsewhere, saying that Kouri will not get a fair trial because of all the media coverage. Judge Mrazek comes back and says, well, the media coverage is everywhere, so there's no so what's the point in moving it somewhere? It's just going to delay things. And also, even though Judge Mrazek has tried to avoid all the coverage of this case, even he has seen Kouri's face on the front of magazines when he goes to the supermarket. But do you know why Kouri's face was on the front of the magazines? Because Kouri's family were speaking out. Her brother has done an interview, and her family has done an interview. And friends have spoken to People magazine. The interview is on Good Morning America. The defence can't argue that about a tainted jury pool when it's the offender, allegedly, and their family that's speaking out. You can't argue that. You just can't argue that. Kouri is charged with aggravated murder, a first-degree felony, and 3 second-degree felonies for possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance stemming from the death of her husband. Eric died after ingesting 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl. She is being held without bail. So it will be interesting to see if we find out what is in that letter that was marked as attorney-client privilege. Was it just a novel? If so, it's very close to what is currently happening. We must keep in mind that there are children involved in this case, and they are living at the moment with Eric's family. And Kouri is presumed innocent right now. No court date as of yet. We are hoping that come December, they will have set a trial date, but they will at least hopefully have come to an agreement over what parts of the walk the dog letter can be given to the prosecution. When Eric died, Kouri confirmed that it was just her, Eric, and their children in the house at the time. The defence are alleging that she poisoned him with a cocktail that she had put some fentanyl in, but from what I understand, they have not tested that glass that he drank out of, which is strange, in my opinion. But just a bit of an update, bit of extra information. Thank you, Toria Barnhart from parkrecord.com. Much appreciated for your coverage. I'm going to put a link to this in my description. And make sure to like the video, get it out there, spread it to the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm now over 50. I can go live from my phone, wherever that is. But thank you. It does mean a lot to me. If you come from the Reddit community or the Facebook community, let me know below. But what do you think about this case? Or what do you think about the walk of the dog letter in particular? It'd be good to hear your opinions. Maybe there's something I haven't thought of. But it's going to be... I've been covering this since May, and there's never a dull moment. So make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. But that is it for today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you liking, commenting, subscribing. You can also follow me over on all the social medias, as you can see here. I am most active on Twitter and TikTok. I post a lot of news and politics over there if you're interested, especially UK news and politics. In case you hadn't noticed, that's where I'm from. But that's it. I will let you get on with your day. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.